When I was young, I was always puzzled by the name of my neighborhood. It was called Sunbird. But it would only be 20 years later before I would discover its true meaning. Hello everyone, my name is Wai Mun and my wife is Nok. We have been married for 12 years and we have known each other for 18 years. The 2 years leading up to our marriage was a time where our relationship was icy cold. As you can probably guess by now, Nok and I are very different. I'm from Singapore, a city boy who did not speak any Thai. Nok is from Thailand, a village girl who hardly knew any English. I was extroverted, Nok is more introverted. She didn't even have a passport at that point in time. But despite our differences, we did have one thing in common. It was a small rural hospital in eastern Thailand. We were 20 years old when we first met. I had just finished my first year medical school studies in Singapore, and Nok had just finished her first year nursing school studies in Bangkok. We were both on holiday, but we decided to go to the little hospital to pick up some experience. At that time, I remember there was this sweet young girl whose nursing uniform was different from all the other nurses. It was not in her student nurse uniform. We would smile at one another, but we couldn't really talk because of the language. Nok was keen to make a friend from another country out of curiosity. After that 1 month attachment, Nok gave me a little present. Here it is. It's an hourglass, a symbol of time. What was it supposed to mean? And what was Nok trying to tell me? I didn't know then. Perhaps it meant that our relationship would soon undergo the testing of time. So from that time, once a year, I would return to that hospital, and I decided to pursue this friendship, unsure if it would lead on to true love. I would return to the hospital once a year during my holidays to get experience, and also to keep up with the friendship with Nok. I started to begin to learn Thai seriously so that we could communicate with one another. Initially, the means that we used to communicate would be considered vintage by today's standards. We would write letters to one another. I would write in English, and Nok would get her sister to translate into Thai, and she would reply again in English. Later, as my language got better, I would write the letters in Thai. It would take me 3 hours to just write a short half-page letter. It was very tiring, but it was fun. It was not enough to just write letters. Of course, I wanted to hear her voice. But there was a big problem. At that time, my home telephone could not call overseas. So I got around the issue by buying some international calling cards used by foreign workers. I would then use these calling cards and go outside my home to a public telephone in the nearby park to call her. Calling Nok was a roundabout process. She was staying in a student hostel, which was linked to a nursing school, which was linked to a hospital. I would first have to call the hospital operator, get the line transferred to the student hostel. There was only one phone there downstairs, and whoever passed by would pick up the phone and shout for the person wanted on the line. Nok would then have to quickly run downstairs in order to talk to me on the phone. There would be times when I would wait and see the value of my card go down and down. So our friendship progressed slowly but steadily. But in the final year of our studies, things took a bad turn. Nok suddenly turned very cold towards me and tried to cut me off. She tried avoiding my phone calls and she gave me curt answers. This cold period lasted for 2 years. I was confused and discouraged, to say the least. 2 years seemed like forever. It was as if there would be no light at the end of the tunnel. But I did not give up. I still call her once every month or once every 2 months, even if it were to just speak for a minute. It was to show her that I still cared for her. Then one day, I hit on an idea. I would invite Nok to Singapore. I planned it as a surprise, and I obtained her parents' permission before I asked Nok. Imagine Nook's shock when she asked her parents for permission, only to discover that they had already given their permission. The trip to Singapore lasted 4 days. It was short, but intense. We spent the 4 days making up for lost time. And at the end of the trip, Nook had a change of heart. It was also during this trip that I gave her a watch as a symbol of my feelings for her. A watch in return for her hourglass gift. Upon returning to Thailand, Nook announced to her family and friends that she would plan to get married to me. That shocked everybody, but it delighted them. And true enough, 6 months later, we got married. Today, we have 2 children aged 7 and 5. So what did time do for us? What did time do for us? We were brought together for a period of time. Our paths crossed for a period of time. We were kept apart for a period of time. But it was because of this time apart that I could prove my sincerity to Nook. Love indeed shines through the passage of time. Time is indeed love. For Nook and I, a short period of 4 days of sincere love was able to melt a frozen heart of 2 years. Now, back to the weird sounding name of my childhood neighborhood. Nook's real name in Thai is called Anothai. It means the morning sun. And we call her Nook, that's her nickname. Nook actually means bird. So actually, ever since the time I was 8 years old, every time I look outside my bedroom window, I will be looking at the name of my future true love and wife-to-be. Truth is indeed stranger than fiction. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye-bye.